Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're looking at something truly special from the Silverzz channel, the pure silver round Diya. We're going to unpack the beautiful craftsmanship and the deep cultural weight behind this piece. It's not just an object, It's a bridge between the physical world and our spiritual practice. We'll explore exactly why the materials and shapes chosen for sacred items like this carry such profound significance.
Okay, let's dive into this. The source material grounds our exploration with this really powerful thought: illuminate your puja space with divine grace. This is way more than just a poetic sentiment. Think about it. From a psychological standpoint, how we physically curate our worship space directly influences our internal mental state. It's an invitation to think critically about the specific kind of energy we deliberately invite into our environment to really anchor our focus. Section 3. Illuminating your puja space. When we talk about illuminating a space, we're obviously not just talking about being able to see in a dark room. We're setting the foundational energy for reflection, for prayer, and for connection. The physical elements we bring into the sanctuary of our homes help map out our internal landscape.
So, to define it simply, a silver round Diya is a beautifully crafted, sacred oil lamp used for worship. We all know the fundamental purpose of a Diya, but bringing pure silver into the mix, that elevates the whole practice. It's a highly purposeful upgrade. Silver has historically been revered not just because it looks gorgeous, but for its enduring nature. Meaning, this isn't just a vessel for a flame, it's a dedicated instrument designed specifically to honor the sanctity and longevity of the ritual itself.
The symbolism of completeness. Now, the significance of this specific Diya goes way beyond just the material it's made of. The spiritual resonance it brings is directly tied to its physical shape. Every single curve is deeply intentional, serving as a bridge between a physical tool and a spiritual philosophy. The classic round design, let's look closely at that aesthetic. Notice the smooth, unbroken curves. It's a timeless shape that artisans have utilized for centuries. But why round? Have you ever wondered why this specific classic design is so consistently revered when it comes to a sacred oil lamp? And this brilliantly illustrates the core philosophy behind the craftsmanship. The continuous circular rim specifically symbolizes completeness. In spiritual practices, this unbroken cycle represents absolute wholeness. It mirrors that psychological feeling of centering yourself during prayer, that idea of bringing all those wandering thoughts back into a complete, unified focus. And at the same time, the pure physics of this continuous shape allow the flame to emanate divine light outward in all directions evenly. It perfectly merges that internal feeling of wholeness with an external warmth that literally fills the room without interruption. Occasions for divine light. Understanding all that rich, abstract symbolism naturally leads us to ask how it functions in reality. Let's look at how a piece like this seamlessly integrates into different scales of our everyday lives. The versatility here is absolutely key. On a micro level, it anchors your daily worship, creating a quiet moment of calm and reverence in your everyday routine. But then it scales up perfectly to become a focal point during massive community festivals like Diwali. It bridges that gap between private morning reflections and grand, vibrant celebrations of light. Plus, because it carries such deep cultural weight, it's an incredible avenue for religious gifting. It's a tangible way to pass that sense of completeness and grace right onto others in your community. Quality and craftsmanship. Let's move to and see how this builds into the physical makeup of the piece, because that's really what sets it apart as a lasting heirloom. The materials chosen dictate its longevity and its ultimate purity. 999. In the world of precious metals, this number is a real game changer. It represents 99.9% pure silver. For a puja lamp, this is the absolute ultimate standard. It means the vessel holding your sacred flame is crafted from the purest form of silver you can possibly get. This guarantees that the physical object is just as pure as the spiritual intentions behind your worship, creating this perfect, harmonious balance between material quality and ritual significance. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how they guarantee that standard. It's officially hallmarked, which gives you verifiable trust in its absolute authenticity. It's also proudly crafted in India, which ties the physical object directly back to the profound cultural roots where the tradition of the Diya actually originates. And going back to what we just talked about with sharing these traditions, it arrives gift-ready. That makes for such an effortless transition from a finely crafted artifact to a deeply meaningful present. How will you bring divine light into your own celebrations? As we wrap up this explainer on the pure silver round Diya, I want to turn the focus directly back to you. We've unpacked how its classic,
unbroken design symbolizes absolute spiritual completeness, and how that 99.9% pure silver elevates a daily ritual into a lasting tradition. So, understanding the deep intentionality behind this craftsmanship leaves us with one final, very important thought. How are you going to bring this kind of divine light and completeness into your own daily life and your own celebrations? Thank you so much for exploring this beautiful piece with me today.